doors.
Whoa.
And you get one neon with a harbor for EFGC. And Revitalize is bringing back the Yoru and the Jetty.
Yeah, I feel like this is interesting. For the side of Revitalize GC, they were previously running a Neon, Sova, Viper, Yoru, and Harbor, and that was actually with Waster playing. So they've taken what works for that and then slightly adjusted it, right? So that's, I guess, wait, Winter is rotting. So we don't have Waster. We're good. Let's go. It's the original team. That explains the changes, Rivington. Yeah, we're good. There's no subs on the Revitalized GC. They entered this as a core 5. They are going to end it if they face elimination today, or at least give themselves that best opportunity, like I mentioned, that core, that consistency, that elevation, and that's going to be a little bit difficult for the side of Eternal Focus GC to handle. But I'm excited to see what Crystal brings on the Neon, because they've had a consistent Neon player in Swerve, and they've more evolved around that. Clappy going from Viper to Reyna, right? They'll have Snowy or New York going from a Phoenix to a Viper. So it's crazy now to see them onto the ISO. And I mean, you thought 2 walls was enough? How about an ISO wall?
Yeah, get another one in there. Let's get our second match of the day underway. Round 4 in the Swiss stage, which means elimination is on the line for one of these teams. Revitalize versus Eternal Focus. We are on to Breeze. Let's see who starts off with the long range. We just have the ghosts. No, Boop will get a sheriff. You only need wall when you're a Viper anyways. Up and down. Just hit the shots otherwise. And there is going to be a sheriff for Winter here, so we are packing power for pretty much everyone. He sub grabs the bandit. Raid. We'll see what they can do.
And starting off with pretty hefty mid numbers. With the 2 players outside elbow, it makes it seem like it's going to be a B pathing, but with an early contest from Thump and Winter, who knows? Ooh.
Well, a little harder to enter the site now. Snowy goes down, and it's actually going to be running forward for the shot. Reload in danger. Double tap refresh. Double tap taken down, and so is their opponent. Very nicely done. A lot of movement here coming in the side of Revitalize to make sure they're closing in on these kills their teammates are suffering.
And a good pivot from those players that never left elbow to at least get onto the site, but still to deal with the anchor. Scary, tucking away at back site. Oh, and the jump up is perfect. Didn't take long to source out all the people trying to hide in the site. Squiggly wall.
Adding shield.
An SSV trying to get in. Hammer time. Kuronami. Always good for 1. I mean, it's free. These skins are so good. SSV combined. This could be the advantage they need. Going in. Oh, good. No peek from ladder there for a moment, so they get through safety. Spike's going to go onto a semi-fast tick. There's the Cove timing, and they fake it. But they know it just has to be a very, very calm peek from both sides. Boop does just that. Boop's SSV, and they will grab the pistol. Save that sheriff.
That was some great stabilization after, I mean, I was kind of confused about the pathing there from Prism and Boop up elbow, because I think I saw Kit go from like Nest into that backstab fight, right? Alongside those duelists who were falling around a really good New York exec. And yeah, all in all now coming to the next round. Also a very funny approach coming through. Revitalized, going for the all-in. A main fight, and let's just hope that Boop is ready to, you know, Boop.
A little bit more. The sheriff is still there. So, I missed that one. Going for a repeat. Oh, yeah. No, that's a lot of noise. Be like, hey, guys, turn around. Turn around, please. They try to set up the trap. Oh, no! Oh, it looks like they just got taken out in the process of trying to set up that defense.
At that point, they're like, okay, if there was that stack coming out of A main, we just need to hightail it on to B. SSV, though, again, in a position to disrupt, but paying down. No wallbang to follow. There we go. About to say, you have Guardians.
Easy setup.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Knock him
standing.
down. Ooh. I was going to say easy setup. They swing the bolt same side. If they had swung different sides, it's a different story. But yeah, keep that one close to the chest. See what it does to the money here. The plant's still there. They should be able to get a few more online as they stay around these rifles just to keep each other protected for the bonus.
And since Prism's the one that kind of salvaged that round, quick shout out to her. She's a self-proclaimed arena only to Swiss stage because in the qualifiers she played only arena, and this is they're one of their first times competing and making it all the way to a main event. Yeah,
saw that in the maps and even the map pools as well. They don't have the deepest. That Reyna was in there, and it's like, okay, this becomes comfort. This becomes comfort. So it's great to see them flex away from that and still have more of even an agent pool.
Screams the aggression they're gonna have though. Yeah. And I think honestly I think it is translatable. The Harbor, you can see even from SSV, likes to play super aggro on their own util, and it's for this reason they can do the damage and get out.
Deciding to back up after one. Very nicely done. No reason to keep peeking the numbers up. This is what makes it scary, and that's going to be a Vandal pickup. Eventually. Wait, protected. Thump's already there. Eyes on. Great distraction for anybody in mid. And they could have a second weapon, but I don't know if they have time to grab it.
Yeah, the speed of recovery and reactivity right now from Eternal, Focus, Amethyst is definitely living up to their name. Very drilled, very reactive, and even now selling a fake out with that high tide going up. The only thing that really disrupts it is because of how close on the angle Scaredy was playing, but even then, you already had SSB left. Rotate over, and now Kit's trying to backpedal, but I don't know if you want to brave a 1v3 on the site to hand numbers even further over.
They do have a wall to retake from the side of Revitalize, but Boop's wall is still up, which gives them that option to go back towards A.
10 seconds left.
Cleared out. Nice little chip damage, but not going to follow up too much with the Vandal spray. We'll see how much Kit can get done before the team gets here, just peeking side to side.
Oh, I'm sure they don't pass by the toxic screen, but this is the cycling that we like to see of the walls. Oh, what a drone
in. Whatever happens in the site, I mean, they just have to buy a little time. And a magic out there with the Hunter's Fury, but this has to be one of the best Hunter's Furies we've seen. They can trade each other on, off. That's half. Looking for a straight shot.
They have shocks. As the high tide also doesn't get the opportunity to get it onto the cove, and it's been stuck all the way. Slipping on through, but otherwise in the round secured, that is pretty disastrous. With all the weapons stolen away, and they credit to all the space they took, and again that identification and neutralization was impressive, but yeah, Revitalized. I mean, on the board, and they get that light shield is gonna be focused heavily by Crystal, and we'll see how much it actually has repercussions of the way that round soured.
Towards mid. Let's see how much they condition this and say, yeah, we'll smoke it to see how much you push it. But I think I like Revitalization, or Revitalize rather, already pushing mid to pick that job up for who is behind the smoke.
Revitalization is when they reach their final form and have like made main events after going 0-3. Now, without that final form, they're just poking and prodding and jiggling on the line, which is dangerous, but this was the player that at least had a shield enough to survive, I guess. Finds the opener, but the quick trade from the Prism Lurk, it's really gonna do them much. Less than a minute left. Silent pivot B side. This is where you wish Scaredy had like a judge, because you know they're gonna contact through, but I'll have to see if they wait for Animagic and his dart to come back before re-engaging. Oh, they're just gonna go for it.
Jump out one side. Oh, even do the double tap. Scaredy playing it smart. They're peeling off a little too much. You get a clear ladder. 4 shots and a lot of confidence here from Scaredy. Oh, and Animagic with the swing.
Oh, does not matter. The 10 HP and the Guardian. Revitalize say that the better weapons do not mean that the round will get secured, and yeah, I mean, that's what we mentioned. The fault of them contacting in is you don't have that backside information. Scaredy gets to tuck, and this is what I mentioned about how any player in Revitalize can step up, and you can already see that by, again, how close they all are in kills to each other versus a very top-heavy 8-0 ratio on the EFA top to bottom side, which, all in all, I mean, see now we're getting to the thick of things. EFA's economy isn't as primed as you think it would be coming in around 5. And instead they're taking pacing into the eco.
Crystal zooms in. Kit's gonna try to take a different approach to the fight. Didn't get anybody on that push into main. I like the thought. The patience here from EF kind of throws that timing off. We're getting some trades in through the fight. And, I was gonna say that's a pretty good timing for Winter, but Crystal said, I have a better timing. Check this out.
Spike planted.
Look at this front and center. We talked about Prism, that Reyna mentality. First line of contact here. Thump and then operator on the other side. Prone to veil their close presence, but Scaredy just comes up through the orb. No care in the world. Oh. Bring around the Rosie.
Last player standing.
Okay, they're clearing well. They're just playing ring around the Rosie here on the pillars. And they had the backpedal the whole time to keep Rev guessing on where they were going to be.
And then suddenly the eco round goes their way, and Rev just got done saying, we can do it with worse weapons. Well, apparently Eternal Focus Amethyst can as well. And they're even going to carry that operator over, and a Magic here going to be looking for openers with it. And I will say that with a Blade Storm for Winter, anything's possible in this round. And this is why I love the scrappy matches, is you just throw expectations out the window. Or if, like, we've just seen already, like, 2 ecos, right? Like,
Revealing area.
it's fun to watch the ideas, the gears turning, and this round is no exception. Winner sent down elbow with the blades. Right, Prism's been lurking here so consistently that they really want to unearth her, but for the time being, no punish either way, and like Vitalize to figure out how far they should fight forward.
Yeah. And I do respect that EF, even with ops and the bigger guns, they don't want to get just caught with one of these marshals or low buys. And they play the orb game now. So just getting bigger and bigger on the rounds to come, min-maxing what they can for now. And this is going to be kind of the opening into the round. We are at 50 seconds. Looks like it might be around a 30-second hit once they get to the site and feel comfortable here if they don't get a quick kill in mid.
I am worried about like the speed in which these mid players could get into a pinch formation, but that's only if the Yoru survive. Oh, that's the clone. I got tripped up by the minimap. Don't mind me.
It's been a bit.
It's been a bit, yeah.
He's back. Oh, Scaredy does it again. It was a
again.
Guardian just on the other side. Boop, boop. No way. And the double tap too. Surely not another one. Finally cleared.
And that's what I mentioned, the timing down elbow into the flank. Is it enough to salvage the round? Not because Crystal is bodyguarding, and so is the Cove. Prism now. And Smokes get some more stabilization.
Double
Can't
refresh.
group up. Oh, look at the reckoning.
Last player standing.
Oh, this timing. It makes the util so awkward for Boop. And Harbor becomes such a nightmare with those changes. Just walks in.
We're just given silence to emulate exactly what Boop was feeling, and we just got done saying how we see a lot of thrifties, and yeah, Winter and the Blade Storms definitely are going to rain down upon the opposition, and because it's been a bit chaotic out the gate, it is going to be Eternal Focus Amethyst with that first time out of the series. And this is circling back to something that you mentioned, Rivington, was the coaching staff and the support that comes from having an org. Again, when they played in main event, they weren't under an organization. And Prism talked about how nice it was to have that support, you know, of graphics, getting their names out there, having a coaching staff, and just structure to allow for that retrialing process and then allow for that practice structure coming into a main event. Because, again, when you just came into it playing as friends for fun and didn't expect anything to become of it, you need that kind of footstep path to follow through after. And
absolutely.
Exactly
and
what they're doing.
Layered on coach, assistant coach, analyst. So, you know, there's like that almost a one-on-one for positions that people are getting a little bit of focus towards to help them in the in between practices. So we'll see what comes out of this. Great time to take and organize these 5 ultimates. Make sure you're using them revolving after the round after round, because that first Hunter's Fury was figured out.
I'm kind of surprised that we don't see like Crystal buying like 2 players and them going for like a more invested buy, but That could also just be...
Here.
Okay. So they are going to go for the overdrive play, but with a full shield. And so they're just buying for next. Might even see like a little crystal attack op again kind of vibe. But the time being, death ball towards A and see what happens. The split went pretty well, but Kid had a soul read. I guess this was going to be the same kind of run it back eco play that they had last time. And this time now they have more questions than answers, it feels like.
Go, go, go.
Destroy the cove right away. Overdrive, fast lane, enter site. They haven't put it up just yet. They're just going to rely on a few of the walls that went out. Oh, okay. They're waiting for the wall. And then the fast lane. They were trying to organize everything. It gave Rev a little bit of time to set up, though. They're here to receive. Kill concept goes out. SSV gets taken through, and the double tap rather will come out of that. And Winter has a lot to recover here as a dimensional drift and see what EFA is working with inside sight.
Oh, dodge the reckoning. That's huge. Allows them to jump immediately. But the grouping backside is too strong on the EFA side. And front side does not care. Revitalize. Just hold their cool around a chaotic round. And Nye, momentum shift with the timeout. And we'll recap the lead.
Yo, Thumb, so annoying there. But like, I just want to plant. You're getting slightly orbed by Yoru every time you go for the plant, and you're like, okay,
I thought they were gonna pre-fire
Yoru's
the
here.
harbor
Yoru's
wall.
here. Yeah, you don't know how close they're getting because of the walls. The re-entry, really nice job by Revitalize.
Pure confusion is what these two teams are playing in a state of 100%.
I'm out of here.
Time being, again, the start challenge of the same main space. Huge forward recon from Kit. I like it. It's a little bait and switch. It was going to leave SSB a bit more committed if they wanted, but now it's backside safe space. And this is interesting. It's like Eternal Focus Amethyst expected them to walk out, to contact out with how defensive they are around this B main presence, and they have with Winter, but they just don't know.
It seemed like the talk for Rev during EF timeout was keep pushing out B if we can slowly. Have Winter out there. It was a push to A main to collapse on last round. Now has a position here that might get a little sticky as EF plays off the ball and they try to run a double strat.
I don't know if they were making footsteps, but Winter seems ready on the aim line, and heard about expectations. They were met, but still gonna allow for a little bit earlier of rotates, unless... I'm surprised Crystal didn't stay to try and clean up those rotates, to be honest, but still play mid-control angle. Oh, and dome and op line, okay.
That's the dot crosshair for you.
My dot crosshair doesn't do that, Riv.
Put it on their head. All right, here we go. Just making a bit of noise, making sure nobody's peeking from spawn. And they have everything covered. Now that Hunter's Fury is protected by a bit more inside sight.
Whoa.
Nice push right before the Cosmic Divide goes through, but little answer from New York. And the Hunter's Fury is going to be early, so we're going to have to see them run out and try to get up to this Cosmic Divide now. Things are getting a bit more chaotic. Nice damage through, but you're not going to be able to do much with that. Bold. Crystal dives back in. Oh, gets hit. What are these end rounds? Rev has so much to deal with.
And Rev are doing such a good job just baiting out every swing, every jump up, every piece of Sova utility, and then suddenly it's the Stellar sub Crystal just sliding on through, and she's the one that helped sell that A-fake as well so brilliantly in the first place that got them that jump onto Winter, that 3-stack, and that trade. So 4 and 4. You can see how in-depth the planning is at every scale, every step of Game Changers North America, which is really cool to see. And all in all, into the next. Eternal Focus Amethyst. Honestly, this is just their default, is to take this A space. Force out the one-way, force out the Sova util, and it's worked out so far. What? Oh, this is the most we've seen Rev commit into the elbow fight.
Oh. Yeah, just at the top of the stairs is almost the worst time to see that. So good timing by EFA. Realize this deep into the round would be Rev looking for something. Still have to source one more insight though. Scaredy has been so good at playing this game to avoid the no way! No shot! This is how it goes down again.
I mean,
they're going to feel even safer. Okay, I mean, you can only discipline for so long when that many people run by you. But they get the spike to delay for a moment and give the big thing, Rev, time to get back over here. Prism on the reload. That's going to give them time to walk through. Kill contract comes up. And they did such a nice job of killing him on the way over.
Not a good look.
Especially before the site.
A sacrifice must be made for the knife kill to come true. For Eternal Hook Amethyst to get the lead back. And I mean, that was a perfect disruption timing with that kill contract of the little Caterpillar Smokes re-entry that was being attempted from SVV there out of wall. So yeah, that's how you disrupt I guess a harbor pick through and through for sure. But coming into the next, I mean, you can tell how confident Ife are getting. Odin out, Outlaw out, right? SVV. They're the ones that I think are struggling a bit to adapt, right? We've seen EFA, I think, make those changes even with the timeout that was employed pretty early on, but again, same stacks on mid doors, same person holding a main. The only change of this time, right, is the positioning, one could argue, of Winter, and maybe the fact that they're taking mid space, but we've known they like to pressure the spawn side of EFA.
Yeah, it was outside B a bunch before, and they're still staying pretty active. Boop. Down to 24 and change with the regen armor.
That was more than a boop.
That was, yeah.
Look
And they're
at
playing
this.
up on A, too. No more of this retake stuff.
My question is, who's going to sell the fake and who's the end goal? Because we've seen even when the spike is over here, that not be the end goal. And I wouldn't end A now. I mean, you don't have the toxic screen anymore, but Spike is fully committed here behind Crystal and a Magic, and then Odin have found the opener. Can they keep the space while the rotations come through? Because there are numbers here for Rev.
Okay, Odin going to work. They bring out the real big guns, as it were.
30 seconds left.
And this is going to be big protection from SSV here. Also have the Reckoning.
I'm invested. It's so close to the round being salvaged, and I mean that Storm Surge with perfection as well to get a little bit further back. So are the shocks. 15 seconds left. You invest the ult. Here it is. The team's behind them.
Oh, straight into the smoke. Yeah, it's so hard to get out of the cove.
Wow.
Hey, nice job, EFA. That cove as well. You see people throw it a little lower. So you walk out with your head just poking out of the barrel of your gun, too. They chose to fight inside it, though, but it's just confidence. 3 in a row there, and you can see every round they're taking Rev off the map.
And just the fact as well that, like, they realize if we hunker together past the Reckoning, like, it doesn't matter if we're nearsighted or not, we'll still aim the same. And that's kind of how that round comes true. They keep it afloat after otherwise was a pretty constructive eco round off of Winter more than anyone with that the sniper, but 6-4 here on Revitalize's map pick. And this is the danger that we mentioned, right? Of it being Revitalize's map pick, and whoever wins their opponent's map pick could be set up for success. And for the time being, and same game plan. If it's working, it's working. I like it that they don't leave one player solo B-side as well, right? Because they've yet to be fully punished on the save fight, because they have you to like the relay bowl to defuse that situation. They don't feel like any of their exits are weaker, or more so, like we mentioned, that Rev are making adjustments to counter it.
Yeah. Continuously moving around where Winter is to be a nuisance. Last few rounds here towards mid. We'll see if that changes again. Gate crash starts to go across the map. And that's going to be a bit more timed now. Doesn't last forever. And they don't get anything towards that mid fight.
The rivalry continues, though, between Boop and Winter. Meantime, though, we talked about this. This is the consistency that they've had, is these fakes and sells, and this time it is in fact Crystal going for the fake and ending with Spike B side. But I'm confused because the utils are so early that once again Scary is not positioned to anchor.
So good for one. Scaredy helps. Beautiful flash from Thump. You don't see Yoru much. The tech catches you off guard quite a bit. Oh, swings right in. That's going to probably catch EFA with the pants down, thinking they had a pit to stand in. And oh, the overdrive gets cut short as well. The Prism is the only one to be able to fire back now. The Hunter's Fury up again. They're just riding through these ultimates round after round. But it's got to be the gunfight. They win first, and it is not. Kit with 2. in different angles on that one to pick up the round for Rev.
Have a swivel around the orbs after, in the nick of time, it felt like EFA were going to stabilize for another, and I think it's just like they played the same plan twice, and Rev caught on. And yeah, it feels like Security's always been good for at least one on these side anchors, and feels like we are definitely on track for another 6-6, but when you got 3 rounds in a row, you'll be afforded another bye coming into the next, and excited to see these ults, I think, with the Hunter's Furies on both sides. Security, again, with that retake, probably Cosmic Divide like the last time it was invested. It's going to be, again, all-out stakes, but I do like this. We just saw how very few players, as the rest are rotating over from A, can hold onto this B site, so they can get onto the B site with only 1 casualty. They feel like they can hold on in the post plan. The difference here, though, Stump's never been here. They usually TP out really early. Now, it's going to be 2 anchors.
Nowhere to run.
Save. Dodges 1. Into the fight. I mean, they're trying to dodge the Hunter's Fury on the way in, too, from their own teammate, it seems a little bit.
Who's next?
Winter playing up. Looks for a frag there. Now they are just trying to get back. Swinging on that one is a little bit questionable, as they know where the spike is, and they can kind of chill, but Rev wants to keep guessing. There's the Hunter's Fury.
That is huge follow-up to the Dimensional Drift after knowing they were confined into main. And look at this, not taking those risks, just waiting like, hey, yeah, come on in. We have a backside smoke to retake that space. We'll let you get the spike plant down if you want, but you're running out of time.
Yeah. If only they knew. And we haven't seen the wall change at all. They have the harbor. They're only using the harbor. They're consistently, you condition with the Viper wall, so.
30 seconds left.
They popped the wall too, just in case there's players A side that would think that means they're ending there. But when you break a clone, it doesn't matter. Go for the 1 trade, but SVV finishes the job, and 6-6 half here. Like we mentioned, Coin Flip of who could come out of this series on top, and I mean, we kind of laid it out, and it's the truth. EFA were better to adjust when their game plan was going wrong, and Rev just stuck to their guns. What worked, and just kind of RNG'd in terms of when EFA would play into their game plan, and they did happen enough for the 6-6. There's 2 sites. Probability is 50% that they hit A or B.
More stats, numbers. Looking at this, though, the double duelists now to get themselves in, how do they work it? A little bit faster, you know, jet dashing, you can create more chaos with the Yoru 100% than the Neon and the ISO. It's a bit more upfront in your face. You see what's coming at you with that crew.
Yeah,
and
I want to see
double doors right away.
I want to see repathing from this trio, and there it is immediately. What Utah goes through the cove is the next question, and if they can outpace, and if Prism can hold on to pinch play.
Ow.
That's a no.
That's a sting. All right.
3 flood setup.
Already a big 5v5 retake happening on site almost instantly into the round. It basically just started, and both teams are moving very fast to get into position. Thump starts off another kill here on the retake, and a Magic's able to trade, though, and you get to see more out of EFA in that kill feed if they're hoping to get this spike defused. Oh, that is exactly what they wanted to see. Incredible last 2 shots from the chamber from Crystal, and they get the defuse on the spike. Already getting those points for ultimate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was impressive. It was good just kind of funneling from the initial snake bite as well from Boop, and then as soon as they come in and retake that space, it's just easy work for the Sheriff. So GC Sheriff alive and well for the time being. And yeah, a slow start for Crystal for sure, which for those just joining us is Raid eSub 4, but has quickly warmed up alongside New York in the server. And honestly, I think New York's been sliding under the radar, the impact that they've been having on the ISO, sitting at 12 and 12. Yeah, consistency. And you talked about how they were going to play that double duelist. The walkdown was great. It was just happening to be when Rev was contacting through mid door, so the RNG struggle continues. But EFA, that is both pistols of this map going their way. Yeah,
big to be able to resort that and get the retake. And that's confidence. that they're coming back that fast on the rounds, the teamwork. That means the comms are clicking. I think confidence is one of the biggest things that helps you just know your teammate's going to be on that angle. You can trust them to clear. EFA using it. This tech pause. We'll see what's going down. We'll get you an update as well as we look to get back into this second series of the day. Thank you so much for joining us for some Valorant Game Changers. And it is, again, an important match. Elimination here on the line for these teams.
All right, and it was, in fact, a quick one. And to just finish off our Glaze Fest, since we were doing that for EFA, Scaredy 16-12, by the way, is also the IGL for this team. So, yeah, putting up some pretty crazy numbers. Also going through a role shift, by the way.
Are so wrinkly. Okay.
Yeah, also a role shift, by the way. They're usually a duelist
Really?
IGL. Usually a duelist IGL. So I think that explains why they are adept in some of these 1vx situations up against many players at the same time. But speaking of running into many players at the same time, Crystal, you might want to be careful.
Oh. Yeah, that one dinked off the helmet. Low HP now for a few members of EF. They're going to chase this one. They do. Blood in the water. They hunt it down. A very quick push and loud move from New York, because that's going to be punished as well as they're scrambling to get into position and seems to be costing them their lives. Oh, nice little pre-fire there on the re-peak, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, Prism salvaged last time's second round by. Not this time. 4 players still strong, funneling the Guardian to the strongest player, and they're even okay to pause, you know, take a little excursion before exhuming B site.
Spike planted.
Delay.
Enemy down.
Nice little dink retake on that, or re-peak on that. Here comes the peak from tunnels now. Is there going to be a gun upgrade?
One enemy remaining.
I don't think they have time. Oh, they don't need it.
One enemy
Luke's going to swing the corner, but they're not together here, creating another 1v1. The Sheriffs have been going crazy this game, but so has Crystal. Another clutch to get that second round, too. Good damage, though, coming in from Rev.
Yeah. Huge victory found. Just to keep, again, the numbers in their favor. Right? It feels like it's Rev that always has Eternal Focus Amethyst right now out of reach is what it feels like. And they've yet to find that kickstart. And let's just say they don't want to lose this next round. The Odin, the Vandals, they are aware that there was an owl on the other side, right? That's why they didn't convert the round. A bit nervous for what that'll mean, but don't have to worry about it when on an eco round, Eternal Focus Amethyst, the 4-stack strong on A main. It's all down to Boop, who also has been a pretty dependable solo player.
No one there. EFA, no. They've played that quite a bit.
Okay. They're realizing nobody's home. Also a little backstab brewing to try and cut off the rotations. The only concern here is because of how deeply committed into elbow Scaredy is. The flank, quite vulnerable. Backpedaling, I think you'll find it out just too late. Still doesn't know.
Go, go.
If EFA moves fast on this, that gate crash. Oh, they used it. Yeah, undercut. This is tough.
Only they know. Now they do.
May have not have there. Still goes down as the site is getting hit, and that causes a little bit of trouble from every point they're trying to hit this. But look at Scaredy still behind everybody here to waltz in and might have some timing as the fight from ladder goes in the favor of New York. Scaredy on 1. Oh, it's going to be a lot of people looking that way, though. It's this looks pretty impossible. Pretty impossible. But we've seen it happen over and over today, and that's the Red Bull clutch from Scaredy.
I mean, take what you know about Astra players and throw it out the window, because this is a duelist main. Uses the opposition's high tide to fragment and isolate fights one after another. And that wall was meant to block visibility so you could stick the spike to begin with. So Scaredy, it's like they sacrificed the team for the greater good, right? They might have died in main because of the flank presence, but it allowed for the mid timing, allowed for the clutch, and all is right in the Rev Vitalize world. Their vitalized camp.
Yeah.
You lost the Odin, but otherwise the bios is pretty decent. And in the meantime, that's a bit scary when you just had a dimensional drift tell you that was there.
Yeah, and then they were trying to do some blocking, but the play is still kind of falling apart. Thump finally comes out and says,
Flash,
yeah, we need to do some work. Oh, what a retake of this position in main. Very nicely played there.
It's like
Just squeezing the defense.
like sacrifice for the greater good 2.0, right? That's exactly what just happened. Thump's like, you may die, Winter, but I will flash back through. We crunch, we get this round
enemy
secured.
remaining.
And they even add an extra layer of security, which is, let's just let Scaredy alert to try and cut off Crystal while we go B, no, joke A. Because of the kills along the way, they would know that they're ending B, so yeah, let's go back. Wait, okay, we're triple no, okay, we are ending it. What was the gate crash? Just, minimize risk of them crossing through mid, but, there's a world where they accidentally isolate some fights here because Scaredy is first up in spawn, but yeah, I think we might not even go for this Crystal operator in hand. There's more there to cut off the rotations if she got there before the rest of Revitalized did, but yeah, we're gonna get back to that threshold of 8-8, a tied game. Remember how we had like an earlier timeout than expected from Turtle Focus Amethyst when it was tied, like kind of cycling in the beginning? Do you think they get one here, or do you think they wait for those typical timeout score lines, like a little bit closer to double digits?
They still have the op to work. Maybe here because you have Prism on a pip. Another one. This could be a time to reset and really refocus how to use the ultimates that are about to come online to defend and make sure they're using them with the biggest return on investment they can get.
Well, we will see if they step in, if they want to take a little listen first to what Animagic is cooking up. The new IGL into GC Swiss stage, and actually they had enough resources behind it, right? If you have like a kill contract and like a hero rifle for New York, it's a little bit different to try and start harboring gun upgrades one after another like dominoes, but not the case this time around. So just gonna see what exactly they could do with op on one side, 4-stack on the other, and I mean, one thing to do is decline site choice. Just getting players deposited up mid, and the timing with your scout is extraordinary. Oh, the shot from Crystal's better.
Let me just run over here and shoot my op. Like, what? Prepared for it, but man, making it look so easy. Crystal gets another one. And yeah, we'll be deterred off of this angle, but the question is, watching oppers, how long they hold, even with utility in their face, and that's going to cut off. Oh my god, I was going to say cuts the line off, but the shot is always there.
With how long that crosshair was on, Kit, it felt like a matter of time. And
you heard somebody type, it was probably a nice shot. Thump on another one is Prism trades.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, they are investing in the contract. That's the upgrade they needed for it. Doesn't matter. SVV's been besting New York a lot this series, but if there's one player you want to depend upon, Scaredy alive, they wait out the reckoning and evade it.
A little safe there, yeah. Or safety created, rather. Cut the wall. Pretty short on the situation. SVV is just wreaking havoc. They join together. The buddy system. The peak. Ooh, the sheriff's... couldn't put it past him. Prism close with that one, but SVV coming up strong to take the round and give Rev the lead.
Yeah, and again, it's just them salvaging near eco round wins, right? Because reminder, a ton of Focus Amethyst came into that with just that saved operator. And now, in the next is that full buy. And unfortunately did invest those ultimates to try and clutch out the remainder of that round, but still some chances to stabilize here before Revitalize get into unsalvageable territory of deep double digits. And looking towards now, I think Scaredy orchestrating a really good exec with her own Cosmic Divide, and this split and how committed his main players are. I think there's gonna be a really good opportunity, yeah, for the Jet and the Yoder. Look.
Ooh, oh, okay. Winter's like, Thump, look, I can too. Don't follow me this time. Man, they look like they are having fun on these entries, though, as the double duelist squad for Revitalize. This is going to be a very stronghold with every angle on watch, so it's about what kind of damage EF can do.
And they have spotted out Crystal, who's just trying to get a good, like, judge angle at this point, even if it means exits or really able to launch forward. But mention all these angles held while everyone's supporting each other too. And at this point, they're gonna give it to. This is a team that's gonna give it the ace to winner, 100%.
Oh, when you get judged out of an ace,
Oh no!
You should have seen your faces.
2 for the cause. Super respect for the team. That's crazy.
Yeah, and this is one of those players that, you know, the longer they play, the scarier they are going to get. And yeah, we mentioned if it was going to be the 8-8 or a typical kind of deficit with double digits, and it is, in fact, the latter. So 4 rounds is their breaking point in a row to try and stem Revitalize's heartbeat. And it'd be a pretty good time for it, right? You lose this next round off of the light shields, weapon forces, and that overdrive combo, and it would be 12 for Revitalize. So all things considered, just trying to think about what probably the plan would look like for Nextec around these ultimates. Honestly, I think Eternal Focus Amethyst, they look pretty decent in these retakes. It's more when they over-aggress into mains that I think Revitalize have a pretty good grasp at handling and dealing with that aggressive style. Like, look at the eco run, how close that one was, for crying out loud. So I kind of want them to just give up space, you know, play around orange, because honestly, Revitalize have been going just A split, A main, A main, A main. But and then see what they can do against that.
I agree. I think you have just a little bit of pacing change in the slower department. Because they're coming in so well off of the walls that they're creating and Magic's utility that they're using. I mean, yeah, the retakes are a factor of it. I mean, you even see the defuses there were the first few rounds when they got under the skin of EF, albeit lower buys. It's just the way they were working around each other and working around that util. Maybe more a main control, or at least a little control around the map to make better informed decisions come that time.
Hi.
I expect that kind of counter, right? Because you mentioned they were consistently going A, and how does Krista get away with that?
I thought for a second they didn't see each other. I was like, yeah, you guys are just hanging out at the beach apparently. But yeah, so it is aggression. Very much aggression here. Taking a little bit of space for info. And, oh no! I think Boop wanted a little more time with the situation, and that cost them. It was good discipline, but kind of punished there by Thump on a quick turn.
I'm surprised to see Thump and Winner as well kind of reel themselves back in.
Yeah.
Worried about Winter's timing here, but Thump will be like the bait basically and switch.
Whee!
Yeah,
there's not gonna be time.
No, Spike's already at a point where it's going to be too difficult to get in and defuse with this many bodies, but EFA is going to throw it in, low on cash.
One enemy remaining.
So was their must
keep
win.
members of Revan. No, they don't.
That was a hard round to lose for Eternal Focus Amethyst.
Yeah.
Again, they trap off the overdrive. It doesn't convert. We talked about the trying to turn the heat off. They just turned it up and hard boiled the round, and it was good. But I think again, Revitalize just read into it very, very well, right? And it's good to see Revitalize having signs of a very strong understanding of how their opponent's playing, because we mentioned it was a bit lacking in the first half, right? But yeah, that read just saves their map pick, saves their run right now towards 12 and that streak of 5. And finally they listened to what we just said, Rivington. Look at this. This is gonna be a retake. Look at it. But they don't have weapons now. Or good weapons.
It's a good call. The dimensional drift is going to source out a lot, and
Whoa.
that's called. Wait. Trying to play a little tricky there, almost loses their life. Thump down to 5, but the plant is in, and the retake has to hit heavy. This is where we're watching EF play off each other, get those swings together, and move in. They're trying to do it on a multi-pronged attack a little bit here. Space gained by Prism just to get up in their face. Goes down as Crystal picks up an outlaw frag, and Scaredy coming in to keep that late plant aggression.
One enemy remaining.
Crystal evades. The team has done the job for her at this point. And just like that, Revitalize get up to 12. And the Dimensional Drift exec, a match for the broken by retake, and it just set them up really, really well in this post plants. Even the disruption of that Hunter's Fury couldn't really do much from Animagic, unfortunately. Again, the scaling there into the retake was nice. It's just, it's difficult when you were that far at a deficit. And again, with 1 round away from Revitalize claiming their map pick, want everyone to be a spick and span in the server, so another tech pods.
Yeah.
But so we have news for you. It'll come your way, and in the meantime, we can continue just breaking down what's probably gonna happen in this next round, right? And honestly, if you're revitalized, they hinged on RNG in the last half. I would just say if they go A 4 times in a row, not that they're going to, they would probably win one of those A rounds just because they have the Blaze, the Cosmic Divide, SVV, and that Reckoning is one off, and
Yeah.
it's been their best look.
And they've been seeing exactly where EF wants to play all the time, right? If they're not pushed up, it's still Prism hovering the right side of the site, expecting that Harbor to use a cove or something to anchor or get out. The wall, the high tide before that. So yeah, it's been a little readable here that Rev has been able to get into the site and see the same thing. Fragging well across the map with the double duelist comp. Scaredy pulling up a lot of the flank and extremity control. 23 kills there from the Astra. And some crazy clutch rounds to boot.
And they finally pivoted the ISO to go for like a undercut trap play into A main. And nobody's home, right? They finally tried, of course, the B side. But because there was no presence whatsoever A main, EFA knows something's up, and on the way, rotating, have taken down their best player. Scaredy down, they now have to commit without their IGL, and they're just gonna add some additional pressure to this backside hold while the mid funneling and the flank pressure is mounting.
I really like this with EFA.
Planted.
I mean, you're down to the final hour. Try the aggression strategy. Push the timings and make Rev feel uncomfortable in their own sight. Kit's gonna actually fire back. Good for a few here in these last moment situations. We saw a clutch from them earlier. And they're all inside that quadrant right now. Nobody actually took the outside of it. Kit tries to jump right through. They're delivering a few of these frags to him. Oh, Thump. Gonna look to play a bit of the gate crash game. Maybe a fake on one and get some good damage down. Just chipping away. Chipping away. 11 HP now. Oh my god. Enough to make you want to pull your hair out in that situation and revitalize. Come in for the 13-8 scoreline to take Breeze.
It is, in fact, New York filling that spot of Swerve on the ISO. Prism actually just becoming like the true embodiment of a flex, not playing the Vice, but picking up the Omen that Simulacra usually plays. And all in all, yeah, this is, again, it's like similar, but still like different flavors of the composition. And I'm actually more impressed. Yeah, the Sova versus Fade. I feel like we've just seen Fade, and I feel like the Sova has departed recently more so from the Lotus picks. Why do you think that's the case? Like, we've heard enough of like the narratives between like, oh, Sova or Fade, and this is why. But why do you think Sova's picked less in this meta?
So especially for something like Lotus, it really is easy to just dodge out on a Sova dart. There's no good bounces or hits. There's a top and the bottom to the site, which also makes it harder for Sova at distance to start doing things. That's really the least of the worries. All Sovas don't even need the pings anymore. That was a change so long ago. They've refined their shot. But there's just so much to hide behind, deny, and you get so much more information out of kind of being there. The haunt goes up, somebody shoots it right away instead of really has to hide from it because you know other utility is going to probably be following with that Fade in the team.
Well, this could be what settles that discussion for at least the time being. Rotting as well. Oh, we got the name changed away from Winter. Oh, that's funny. They use both, I've noticed, in the Turning Realm environment, but it's funny to see. Because we have Rotting, and then we have Rotten 1 as well. Not to be confused at all, by the way, guys, but what isn't confusing is the typical A main fight utility. This is another thing with that Fade, right, versus that Sova. You just saw a shock nade combo instead of a seize nade combo.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's pretty easy just to wait out, and it's not going to really find much impact since Revitalize. Slow, methodical starts. They're kind of picking up where they left off, right? Because it was that attack side that was super dominant for them over on Breeze.
A little bit of noise. No fakes here. Everybody in on this play, and they're actually going to meet quite a few members of EFA in sight. Paranoia doesn't really even slow Rev as they make it up top, and Winter wants some more space. There it is. Rotting, Winter, what have you. It might look different on each side. And they are going to keep pushing here towards C. 3v3 after that little tussle.
Plenty of time, but 40 seconds left. They just plan for backside, flip the site. Understand that they don't really have control over that flank. Lurk smoke for the cross. They set up. Wrap
Who's
timing.
gonna peek? Oh,
Huge ping.
it's perfect. It's perfect. Rotting gets that timing just as Prism looks away, and they
Player
dump
standing.
a paint shells into the back of sight here. Good damage. Oh no, they're just making Crystal look left and right as they toy with them. A nice round from Rev here as they make it to C site with a full team and use that power to get pistol.
Yeah, some duelist peekaboo to finish things off, but Eternal, Focus, Amethyst now. They had a flawless pistol record that's now been decimated, so again, that momentum that we mentioned on the attack side may be carrying over, despite it seeming like it's differing halves, at least they're starting on. It's just starting where you ended at this point. A Stark Vandal buy-up as well for Thump, and otherwise, yeah, they went through the logical steps like that they needed to. Flip side, play the timings, and they set each other up. So now, setting each other up. SVV on the lurk with the rifle, keeping that seat pressure so it forces these anchors to remain in position, and it's gonna put then as a result a lot of pressure onto Crystal, who's just solo on this A side.
Pretty loud peaks from Crystal here. Yeah, gonna back up, rope up, retake, and why not? Still have a bit of utility from the rest of the team to come back on the other side of the sights. No lurk. That's a big anchor. Actually, they all drop into sight here for EF to try and set a trap. Oh, lands and delivers. Thump with a 3K. The recoil control on the Vandal is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good reflow, a good timing, but the one Vandal that's forced up is the one taking that backside space and looking now to secure an ace. And we see Ref feed one to Winter. Oh, you're not gonna feed one to Thump. What the heck?
Oh.
At least it wasn't like Winter stealing Thump's ace. That would have been just extra BM. Wow.
That would have been 8-0-1 plus the showstopper. Oh
Yeah.
my word, that's funny.
Well, for now, either way, that's a Stark way, a confident way, right, to get up to a 2-0. And, trying to focus Amethyst. Considering they have a buy, I'm surprised that we still have a Stark C stack, right? But there was more of a default hold over on, a concrete hold on Breeze defense. This just, I don't know, this looks like they don't have a very, like, concrete plan, which is funny since this is the map that they won. And so I'm a bit interested in how this laissez-faire fluid defense is going to work. This round it might, just because it's going to be an all-out brawl in to be made. Do they not have years? Revolving doors are pretty
What
loud.
a cool one. Love the door open play. Your initial thought is that somebody's close to the door, so you're like, who was that? And you just get laid down by everybody from long range. Okay, the pushing thing. Slow down. Oh no, Zobi. It's now down to a 2v2 after that fight. It looks so good for EF.
Pre-fire from Boop lined up. Not gonna follow through.
Spike planted.
Just waiting instead, patient for Animagic to join. You'll have that recon for the back site. One more Thorn for crowd control, but look at how paired up these revitalized players are.
They know one is to the right. High-low setup. This looks perfect for a clutch. That's one, and the second one comes from SSV as they almost get another ace, but they steal it again. No, I'm just kidding.
That's actually really funny. Yeah, this one at least was a reasonable one, right? Round almost lost, got a clutch, got a trade, and at least they gave Winter the chance to get this, the transfer connect. The last time there was no opportunity or timing. But yeah, I mean, back-to-back duelist 4Ks means that you have now the ultimate round 4 killer online. Showstopper and Bladestorm combination, and this is, I think, acting as a good antithesis to why you shouldn't pick the ISO. Just because they have all these weapons. But, I mean, ISO can survive a showstopper, so we'll see what happens on this A fight. Where finally, Revitalize had the confidence just to challenge this A fight head on. Whoa! That's a bandit!
Out of the air. Bandited down. Did. All right, they keep going towards A. Prowler actually gets a connect on that tether, so it's going to just freak out and keep chasing New York down.
Oh, fancy way to get rid of a gun.
Brit?
They wasted the updraft to get rid of the gun. I didn't know you could throw one over the wall there, to be honest.
I've never even thought about it. Yeah, super smart stuff.
Oh, double cross on the flank means that SVV has a chance to get some kills that aren't stealing other players. Kidding. And now the Arco is a perfect setup as well. Eco's nom nom, just like that. Double swing to secure the third, and yeah, SVV might outfrag the other two just from getting these finishing kills.
It'll be funny if there are 2 frags over the other 2 at the end.
No.
What it comes down to.
I'll have to remember
4. Yeah, 4 for Rev. And the operators are gonna start coming out as the FA are looking for a different avenue to start these rounds.
Yeah, and I will say, it doesn't feel like the starting positions from Eternal Focus Amethyst are very typical, if that makes sense, of Lotus. Again, the typical is Senti, Anchor C, maybe a controller on top of it, and maybe 1 player B, but then you have 2 to 3 aggroing on A main. I think because they're running the Sova, they don't feel like they can confidently win that space,
Spike
and
down
this
A.
round, they can just put an op on it, so it doesn't matter. But we'll see how that works in the future rounds, or for the remainder of this round, right? Prism? TP's a bit early. Had a great angle. Oh,
hello. And they're wondering, it's good they stunt the initiator utility here, so this all has to be done as a team now from Rev. They call the audible to go through break room.
no one's pivoted yet. They could have been already top side on B, and instead now they're just getting wind of what's happening because of that cloud burst. Even now, I'm confused how Thumb got here so fast.
Headshot.
Boom. That operator already thwarted. No, it's not. Just a double tap. Sat down like that. Thumb on a different level here for map 2. And you could say the same thing for SVV, but finally sat down by Prism.
And now Thumb could be on for another 4K if they wanted, but at this point, it feels like it's more survival, containment, looking for some extra old torbs. Go toward the next salvage to buy. You can see Revitalize aren't giving them anything. Gun barrel spotted. Thump. The walls are closing in. Now, honestly, a little ninja defuse possibility coming through. Dark cover out. They're gonna have to hard commit to this. The prey isn't connecting, and I don't think that there was enough time, anyways. Like, it was really close.
Still funny to see.
Still funny to see.
Close. Got them both to come in, get their guns, make it a little sketchy, but they have so much money now. I think 5 rounds in a row, you're not worried. EFA is feeling differently about that. They're going to go ahead and call a timeout here and see if they can't get ahead of this.
Yeah. I mean, I like the operator from Crystal being posted up on A. I think that was a nice novelty, like surprise, and gets the first blood. But now you expect Revitalize to be thorough in that util clearance, right? Nice C's, a nice haunt. And with this composition, that's really all you have, I think, to force the respect out. I think the Arcros just gets destroyed too easily, but in the meantime, I feel like we can be doing more with the other trio, with the ISO, Omen, and Sova. I feel like you can combo their util to get some space elsewhere as well. And that's kind of what I want to see, is more direction and intention with this composition, because even if the players have slightly changed, right? We talked about that coaching staff, assistant coach, analyst. There should be a game plan around this composition, then pretty set in stone. And when you have the same IGL, at least, you should be able to kind of rally around that, and they should be able to know what to pull from.
All right, we jump out of the timeout. Let's take a look here, focusing on the defensive side setup. And it looks like that rally might come from a push out front.
Oh, look at that! What did we just say? We just said we wanted to see the ISO, Omen, and Sova getting more aggressive and having like a trap play together, and they put that on A. I was wondering where the operator would go if they wanted to get aggro with that trio on main, so I do like this B adaptation.
That wall mid's not going to allow the push, but I think it's just the door play as it comes to it for EFA. They're going to have to work fast to get back onto Rev's speed. We'll worry about SVV later.
They're trying to flip the side, and I think the kill contract needs to be used soon, or they're going to miss the chance.
Wait,
Or make the chance.
all of Rev pushed through,
SVV.
thinking it was only going to be one person. Also, with the judge to do that,
Oh.
a little ahead of themselves there. SVV only gets the back of Crystal there.
Last player standing.
I'm surprised it was a nightfall, but at this rate, SVV stored themselves off, and it is going to be that first round out of the timeout for Eternal Focus Amethyst. And I mean, at this point, I don't know if the annotations of the timeout really are what
Flawless.
influences
like-
out. Go.
Yeah, it's just that Rev was like, yeah, we totally got this. Let's keep playing with our confidence.
And then just
CFA said, okay, we'll receive all
yeah,
the
New York
details,
just
thank you.
fragged out, right? Now they have 5 ultimates up against the 3 of Revitalized. I do want them to keep the same setup. I'm kind of sad to see them not. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Yes, I used to get back over towards the A site. Just to
There.
see if it still holds against the A start from Revitalized. That's the big test, and you can see why, right? You're going to have a TP, you're going to have the double dive. It's going to be hard for all this util to hit, and you really do just have to lean into New York to frag off of their own vulnerability, and I don't even think they did it off rip. They still have it. They've missed the timing. Or not. Look at the trap off the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, that was really nice. They've been expecting to see at least 1 or 2 there, so they're present exactly where the Hunter's Fury is flying as they push out of that attack side.
Whoa.
Now Rev has to commit fully to this one. They are remembered down, and it's going to be that Vice util, so they have to look forward, but also remember the timing of a flank as they get the spike planted. Steel Garden taking that arsenal away.
Blades aren't affected by it, nor if you're out of the radius like every single player stacked in tree. In the meantime, there was further interference from a rogue player. Nightfall double down. Just to pave the way for this reposition. Hopefully they would be deafened. Animagic hears it, but it feels too late. Crystal's gonna be so far away with the showstopper. You don't expect to be able to fight too much. At least that would change the outcome of the round.
Nice util usage. What a shot!
There's no
In the
time.
face of utility, still gonna have to save. But that's the kind of stuff they're always trying to produce. Hello, how you doing? Up, down,
See you around.
all around. Dang.
Yeah, that's the round you look back on as a potential swing round. And that's really funny, they tried that exact ISO solo combo if you saw on that one B-side exec over on Breeze, and it just didn't quite connect, and that's what it was intended to do this time around, but again, those players were so spread out that they didn't find that impact. Now, if they did it like off barrier drop, is it risky? Is it an overinvestment? Perhaps, but I think it would have worked brilliantly. Enough to maybe salvage the round, prevent the Blades from being that counter to the Steel Guard. But we just mentioned they had 3 out of 5 ultimates vested and now down the drain. In the meantime, Revitalized. They're just ping-ponging. They don't care what site they go to at this point, Riv.
Fairly close, but a critical miss. Oh gosh. Play it safe, back it up. Jumps right into the contract. Cleared again. Thump has been so good on that, but also New York having a bit of trouble in the contracts. A clear as well. Thump comes out, cannot get killed, even standing still.
Last
As
player
Winter,
standing.
that is Rotten, comes through with another kill. It is just falling apart here for EFA.
Another 4K for Thump, by the way. They get pulled
That's
into the
crazy.
kill contract while satcheling in with the showstopper. They're just out in the open, come out of the kill contract, and still don't get traded by the teammates. Like, that just shouldn't be happening. So up 7-1 here. Ults or not, it does not matter. And yeah, money fully reset aside from Animagic with that hero rifle. And again, this is not a composition that can win ecos very fairly easily unless you just get like a showstopper multi-kill, and there still really hasn't been in that position, but doesn't mean that there can't be some creative ideas for EFA. Mound trap in the works around a revolving door play or an immediate flank, but yeah, a space for free. Vice wall, who is that? And boop. Be a huge timing.
Get into sight safely. And they're just going to try to play the retake. This is alerted on Sentinel utility behind them, so they don't have to worry too much. But how do EFA funnel back in? Everybody on Rev is just waiting with open arms.
They're trying to target the offsite players first, right? Ping has come through on wall side saying, here's the Vice, can you recon for me? But now that's revealed that Kit is there as well, and it's still going to be the shot's favor
Okay.
now, EFA.
Okay. Boop with some great shots. SVV still has to worry about what's going on behind, which just
whoa.
leaves Thump very low in sight. And this is going awry now and really great for the side of EFA. Animagic's there for the defuse, and everything pays off. They thought that one out. It's just Doctor Strange style and saw the avenue they could win in.
Second round into the Thrifty, and it came from that pause, right? If you notice, Crystal didn't get it too ahead of herself, pings out where the player is, the recon comes through, and that frames the refight from all of them. There was a world, a very strong possibility where SVV just completely dismantles that, right? Found the timing onto both Boop and onto Crystal and just whiffs both shots. Now, this is peculiar that there's actually the second timeout coming from Eternal Focus Amethyst. They finally got around and should be celebrating riding that high into the next.
I think that's what they're doing. If I'm just taking this as I think it is, I like it because this is coach saying that's what we need to do to win. I like what you did. I like what you did. Let's do more of this. It's promoting the positives, and without even saying the negatives, they get squished out. So looking ahead to keep that play going here for EF. I mean, that was a low buy round for them, but the way they planned it out and the time they took, the comms they use is exactly what they need moving forward here to stay in this series, to stay in Game Changers.
Well, we'll see if they can provide more of it. On top of that positive reinforcement, could definitely sprinkle in some pointers about countering this next big swing ult round for the side of Revitalized GC. I mean, you've seen how they like playing it. Pretty exec heavy, breathe down your necks, and then pop the second ultimate as a further layer to fuel that deep space fight. And time being, the question now becomes for Revitalize. All right, your A hit's been shut down once, your C hit's been shut down once. Where do you want to go? And I didn't actually expect the answer to be B. I'm not going to lie, it's the ones that you haven't been shut down on, but it's because you haven't tried. And Eternal Focus Amethyst, I mean, they're in the right place, right time, showstopper or not. I mean, that could get someone away by exactly that. No way Thump still gets the kill.
That's a 20 bomb, by the way, already for Thump. As Animagic quickly shuts it down for the round before it causes any more bleeding. Rotten very close to kills, but gets indecisive with so many targets on the screen. But the rest of Rev is always there, still there for the fights, as Scaredy is working out of the pit right now to claw a few more kills in their favor. And Prism will limp to this fight, whatever site it goes to, and do their best to pull out both of these kills.
Yeah, not gonna take any risks, right? There's a minute left. They can full rotate all the way to A if they please. Exactly what they're going to settle upon for the time being. And it's just gonna be just... I'm more surprised that they aren't farming up Kit's orbs. Or maybe that's exactly what they're doing. Did they get the one outside of C? I don't remember them doing it. I don't think they got the A one either.
I don't remember.
That would have been the Nightfall
No, it was
already.
very fast to be.
That would have been the Nightfall already. That's unfortunate, but we'll be one off. Hopefully Kit just gets the kill, and that would be the Nightfall to kind of cap off an otherwise nearly perfect half. But that's all assuming that Prism doesn't win this round. Great dark cover for the initial.
Span the line.
Hold the line.
Hold the line. Smoke on smoke action. Gonna enter it from two sides here. Jump in on one, and there's the other entry. Textbook retake there with the spike defuse going down. Nice job by Rev to keep it in their favor. And the resets become very painful here for EFA.
Yeah, it's just that copy paste, right, of how to play that 2v1 perfectly, and fortunately EFA just haven't found a way to counter it, so... Few ults convert into the round victory, and otherwise, again, Eternal Focus Amethyst were doing a great job on that B reflood. It was legitimately just Scaredy who TP'd in and finally stemmed the bleeding of what otherwise was Thump isolated by the Vice util, so... Yeah, back to trying to take team fights where they can. Full team pulling up to A main, where this time, if you don't have an up, Revitalize don't care, Crystal, and Scaredy even deep positioning now off from the shadows. One way, players spotted. Oh, high low now.
Thump in front of a lot of this util too as it goes down. Two of them, Scaredy and Thump, gonna stay up top on that platform to just keep EFA from having any high ground control. Oh! Thorn shot out and actually turned thinking it was something else. Gets taken down.
Good util.
Now they actually have a little bit of heaven control. Yeah. This is how EFA got back in it before, right? Taking their time, finding the picks, creeping around. It's not going to work this time. Winter hits the shots from tree as the team is still distracting from sight. 9-2, as they could very well have 10-2 here, but this bye for EFA is pivotal.
Yeah, it's more Vitalized that learned from their mistakes the last time when it got really close, right? They didn't let those offsite players fester.
Yep.
They group up, they swing them in tandem, and that's after, again, there was some really nice utility, right? You had the top rope handled by the undercut. You had, again, that paranoia come through as well, front side, and I just think they didn't scale off of it effectively on the EFA side, unfortunately. So I think that they'd come from the players, and Tree also just tucked down and swinging. So for now, Revitalize again. Don't hit the same site twice, it feels like, at this rate, Rivington, and Nightfall at a C site? Why not?
Nowhere to run.
Guess that's why not.
Fury just across the side, like this. It's always weird to get a horizontal one across the map because that's a lot of the entries for Lotus. Yeah, somebody gets stuck there for a bit. We see Thump took quite a bit of damage. Scaredy gets hit with some of their own. And now they're waiting on the retake.
Oh, SVV's
Coverage
waiting on
out
a retake.
back, spike planted for Mound here, and they even have the paranoia set up just outside.
And the blades. Further fight.
Blades.
They can survive that. It doesn't even cover the full site. That's the issue.
First one down, and EFA hasn't even really made it into the site just yet. They start to walk up the ramp, and now it's just going to be Rev trying to squeeze into these corners even more to make it feel that much worse. Oh, Winter Rotten just strafing back and forth through the stairwell over by the elbow to come up with 2 beautiful blade kills and finalizing a 3rd round in a row at a 10-2 first half.
At this point, Rotting and Thump are just fighting for who gets more 4Ks at this point.
Yeah.
Thump was taken out of the fight by the early Sons of Fury and just like, all right, Rotting, it's your turn, I guess. And yeah, SVV, the paranoia, it was layer upon layer into that double digits half by Revitalize. And yeah, I think they're just an attacker-sided team, is what I've learned after Breeze and now into Lotus, that momentum carrying. And that does mean that for Eternal Focus Amethyst, there is hope for this half. But yeah, it's always a fragile line when a pistol loss like this will put you down a path of doom and despair. And I will say, already just screenshotting it, you can tell that Rev have a firm understanding of how defensively this map should be played with this double duelist, and that's exactly what they're executing A side.
Yep. Cruising forward here. A very nice job with Thump and Rotting. Doing a lot of that damage. Scaredy was huge on Breeze, so it hasn't just been one person for Rev here to bring the kills forward. They rotate back. They're letting EFA make a bit of noise here. Scaredy, a very interesting spot, but still gets one. Even found out and forced to take a fight.
Ooh, SVV challenging the lurk smoke as well. Ensuring no safe passage and clearing bend. And this is where those players that are on B and jiggling on the A line will not pivot just yet. Otherwise, I mean, 4v4. My question is, does Rotting get a kill, number one? And number two, do they fall off?
It's such a good spot. It's such an early detection for the site hit, right? You don't have to wait from stairs or something to say, hey, yeah, they're actually taking this side of the map. You know now, and the rotation
Is the
map
spike gonna go back?
The spike will go back. They have to wonder that. Okay, they just thought about it too. You saw SVV say, maybe not full commitment. Let's just lean.
They're getting flashbacks.
And we'll play the retake.
They're getting flashbacks to Breeze where the Neon would dive in, fake, and then they go see. EFA had really well-constructed double plays, and the time is there just in the nick of it, but numbers are going to feel
This is where they hold the site, though. They don't push forward anymore, right? They just hold the site and help each other.
That's the hope.
One enemy remaining.
Every
Oh
play's
my gosh,
isolated.
Kit still comes in. What is that? What? We say this for EFA, and then Rev's like, wait for each other. What is that process? Kit goes flying through right-click classic for 2, and the defuse. Just like it's nothing.
Click, clack, that's 11, and it's almost halfway to the Nightfall if they even need it by the time this map will be closed up. That's what the fast strike of that pistol victory does, and that's now 2 for 2, I believe. Yeah. 2 pistols here for Rev, 2 on Breeze for Eternal Focus Amethyst, but this was when EF needed one in dire straits. And speaking of dire straits, Rivington with an 11-2 scoreline, of course, is not that surprising, and that's exactly why Outlaw comes out. Honestly, that's why an Ares from SVV is a great buy as well. And I'm more worried about the util and how much it's already going to chip the blocks of these players on this A engage.
All right. How can EFA keep this off of match point? They're going to play it as somewhat of a death ball in 4 at least. Still getting information. I like Boop's positioning on the map. Just a little bit of a movement there by both of them that prevented the kills from coming through.
Good counter.
But good damage.
And chill out. No scaling from contingency. You're forced now backpedal into B, which need to clear this corner. I know they haven't.
Spike down B.
Awesome.
What?
Yeah, just kind of waltzing in for a moment. I think they... Oh my gosh. How does it happen like that for Rev every time? All right. It's up to New York. Spectre versus Spectre. Yeah, this is gaming right here.
Oh.
But it's going to be a fake. A sheriff now for Rotting. Had a fantastic game so far. New York looking to come online a bit here. Had some trouble in the kill contracts and isn't going to take the fight straight up. They want to add a little bit of pressure, add that sweat, get the spike down, and make it something else that Rotting has to think about. That gives time for the upgrade, though, Zobi.
And util favors Rotting as well. Cloudburst for cross, updraft for repositions. Old as their oyster, and they're looking for the pearl of a map point in this elimination match.
Trying to clear that distance so they don't get topped out by Heaven. Oh, a 4K for New York. A 3rd round for EFA. And they lessen the pressure only slightly.
And this is what we mentioned about New York. Had that muted but impactful presence over on Breeze, and that has continued now. Them quietly fragging, consistently fragging here on Lotus despite the staggering scoreline of a 3-11 deficit. And if they can continue that and amplify it to a standout level of Rotting or Thump, then yeah, they can continue clutching out these rounds. I mean, they just forced up to keep Revitalize off a map, a series of elimination point. Now they get a Vandal, a Bulldog, some more snowballing action. I have to be careful against the Sheriffs and the Marshal, but for the time being, they are playing it as cautious as it gets of firing squad and spawn.
Yeah. Peeked out, Thump with the Marshal, looking for some shots. And if you add Rotting and SVV scores together right now, you get Thumps of 24. They're 16 and 8 behind that. Thump's been having a hell of a game. You can see that backed up here over on the C side with both of them pushed, and that's a huge frag from New York, and exactly what EFA need to see to start off round 15.
You saw the challenge, the follow-up. Trying to figure out if this was a hard commit, but now it's just probably gonna get in position to deliver, but boop, the hero Vandal. I will ensure that this round stays under wraps.
Dirty. Oh my gosh, the amount that these players are pushing through util to force a kill and take their opponent off guard is so cool to see. New York calibrating that one, and Boop will do just that to Kit to end this round. A 4th for EFA. They're starting to find a bit of a groove, but Rev is for sure going to try to knock them off the track.
That's where I think the fact that you have the kill contract for New York, number one, and that Boop is one off from the Steel Garden, surpassing New York in the standings, is another. That is going to be huge in shutting down this buy round for Revitalize. And we haven't seen a timeout from Revitalize this entire series, but this is when you probably would have wanted that first one just to try and put this to rest now. And then you say the other one for laden towards OT and such, just because this is such a big swing round. But for the time being, it's still too safe to call. There's still a cushy 7-round deficit, and just looking towards those key players to have a pop-off moment. Even now. Free fire. C-mound. Players in position to anchor Scaredy, and one that, if uncleared, is quite lethal.
Oh, SVV getting into prime spam position. Sorry, Thump grabbed that. Wait, did they trade? Did they trade? I thought the SVV just had that. So I think they switched it in their positioning so they could rotate the site. Maybe I'm wrong. Just seeing things.
Either way, they're lucky enough you're running into the C side with that on the other side. That is the takeaway, and EFA have heard the message loud and clear. In the meantime, Boop's looking for that extremity kill just to get the Steel Garden online, and that's where this Thump and Winter fight on B is going to be everything. Did they see it? They have to.
Tap, tap, tap. They're trying to pepper inside the site. Oh my god, what an extended fight between these two who have been firing on all cylinders. Rotten comes up with the kill. And then they're going to have to back off. An audible now for EFA.
Because that wall from B was not triggered by Boop, they just
30
have
seconds
the stack
left.
on C, and then these players that are A side can just rotate out at whim's notice. And SVB, time to wake up. They're here.
They can call that double tap. They heard it go off. Almost the second one. Animagic's able to duck under the danger and get a kill, but here's that Odin screaming out again onto the other side. SVB, a parkour, and oh, the dance from Crystal. Looking shiny, looking clean, but it's not gonna be the cut they want. Rotten comes up with another one, a 12th round, a match point, and possible elimination for EFA.
Yeah, just again, those in-depth plans from Eternal Focus. Amethyst get ahead of them this time. The time not quite there for the C follow-through after otherwise was a pretty roundabout way to draw Revitalize every which corner of Lotus. So, yeah, I think that was a great learning from Revitalize on that defense. We talked about how they don't make changes. This time they at least adapted to the timings and the whimsy, we'll say, of EFA's attack side, but I think they realize if we're just gonna showboat around, let's just full strength exit towards the C-mount space. Still have a buy, still have these ultimates, and I mean, yeah, they'll at least get a post plant, then there would have been a world where they get the next 8. So yeah, they kick it off, and if they don't clear this corner, I'm just gonna cry for them.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, in Scarity's head, are they gonna do it again? But wait. They're not even playing on the back foot. A push there from Kit to A main from the fade. And that's the fight. Scaredy takes down New York. The kill contract becomes that again for Scaredy. As wait, EFA turns the round on its head now to a 2v2.
Spike planted.
The pressure on Prism and Crystal.
They have Nightfall, though, for Kit and the retake. And that's why I do like this regroup and this fight into Halls, but they use it for Halls directly now, know that both of them are backside. And the Odin is lethal against this Decay.
That's one. That's the second one! The Prowler attached to the tethers. Oh.
Imagine if it was SCV on the other side, this is for the ace.
Yeah, absolutely. That right there was Thumbskizoo. It gets blown. The party favors everywhere. And Rev are going to get the defuse after having a lot of fun in this one. To take it in 2, they eliminate EFA and move on through Game Changers.